Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Miss Stacy. Hey, Unbiased. Hey, Sassy. Hope y'all are having a wonderful morning or afternoon. I was beginning to wonder if I clicked on the right one because nobody was here yet. And I was like, did I select the right live? Is anybody off or some people have to work? I know my kids are off today and tomorrow, so yeah, she was here. I seen that. So y'all, so I'm like excited for today's live. I'm gonna be making a Christmas stocking. I made one before. Actually, I made two different ones. And I decided it would be fun to make another one because I know there's some people who wants to learn how to make them, but they're very easy. So I'll give people just a minute to get on, and then I'll get started. Hey, Sharon Davenport. Happy Monday. So I can't remember what I put in the description. Okay, no worries. I know that's terrible, isn't it? But it's okay. I put this thumbnail up a while back. So y'all should be proud of me that I had it up before the night before. Because most of the time, that's usually when I'm getting it up or the day of the live. So I was on it. So let me go over. Okay. The materials that you'll need. Sorry. Ooh. So the first thing is you'll need a stocking pattern. And I'm using this one. Can't really remember where I got it from. But if you get on Google and type free Christmas stocking, you can find one. And it'll work with anything. Your squares may be a little different, but other than that, I mean, everything should be the same. So you'll need that. And then I've got 2 pieces of fabric for my cuff. I cut mine 10 wide by 8 inches long, okay? And so this is going to vary from person to person because what I did was I measured my stocking across to get my length or width for my cuff, okay? So the pattern you may print out, it may be 12 or it may be 8. So I just measured from here to here, okay? And then I just did 8 because that should be plenty. Hey, Geneva. Let's see who else I have missed. Hey, Robin S. So you need 2 pieces of those, 2 pieces of that. Hey, Sherry. So I got these 2 pieces, and I'm using yellow. And then you need you a little tab to hang it by. I went ahead and did this part, but I cut a piece of fabric that was 3 inches wide and 8 inches long. Okay, so it was 3 wide, 8 inches long, and I just sewed it together. I folded it in half pressed it, and then I opened it back up and took the two ends, pressed them, and then folded it over. So that's how I got my tab. And then I am using 15 5x5 fabric squares. So I'm using this and I'm using this. I got these at Hobby Lobby last year. Okay. So with my pattern, I will need 15 of them. Your pattern, you may need more. Okay. And of course, you need thread, you need your sewing machine. Always good to have a seam ripper. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, you need backing. So you can use a solid backing, which that's what I'm using today. I'm just using a plain piece of fabric, and you'll need a piece of batting. Let me go get the first stocking that I made, and you can see, because I'm doing this one a little bit different. So this is the first one that I made, and all of these I made out of fat quarters. So my daughter chose her fabric, and I did squares on this side, and I did it on this side. So I needed 15 on here and then 15 here, okay? So I needed 30 total. Also, I did the lining, inside lining. I did it green. You can put lining inside of it, or you don't have to. The first one I did with my son, on my sons, it was different because I used smaller squares and I did a different pattern, but I did not put a lining in it. And as of right now, I'm not going to put lining in this one because I'm going to be honest, I totally forgot that I needed lining. So, yeah. So does anybody have any questions with what you will need? If not, then I will get started. Hey, Gail. Happy Monday. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Welcome in. Thanks for being here on Monday. Okay, so I kind of cheated a little bit because I wanted to make sure it was going to be the colors that I wanted to. So the first thing that I did right before the live was I went ahead and sewed 6 squares to make I wanted to make sure this was what I wanted, so I'm going to use it. So all I'm doing is sewing 3 5x5 inch squares, and I'm going to make 5 rows. Okay, so here's the first 2. So we still have 3 more to use. And look, yeah, I did iron it. And see my seams, they're nice and pressed. Hey, Up Design. Hey, Chrissy. Welcome in. Thank you. No worries. So I've got my 2 fabrics and I've separated them in piles. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of my Christmas. Hello, Miss Linda. Welcome in. And my yellow. And I'm going to lay it on the yellow on top of this one because this is going to be my outside. And then we're just going to sew it, and I'm going to do 1/4 inch seams. And then once I get this one done, then I'm going to add another one to it. I'm going to turn my camera or move my camera so y'all can see it. So I'm just going to put it down here, and I'm just going to sew 1/4 inch seam. And I back tack when I start and when I finish, just to make sure it don't go nowhere. So then I'm going to clip my strings. And then what I like to do is I like to finger press for now. So I'm going to open up my seams and I'm just going to press it down until I can iron them. Okay. So that's what we got so far. So now I'm going to add another printed fabric to it, to the yellow, and we're going to sew that one down. And then our next row will be yellow, a print, and then yellow again. And you can, I'm sure you can use any size squares you want to, but if you use smaller ones, just remember it's going to take more. Because the first one that I did for my son, it took a lot of 2.5 by 2.5 squares. So I wasn't sure if I was going to get to do this project or not, because earlier my sewing machine was acting up. So here's our third row. So now I'm going to sew the next 2 rows, or the next row, and it's going to be yellow, the printed, and yellow. Hey, Miss Shawn, welcome in. Yes, if you haven't, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Also, if you have not subscribed, you can also do that. It's free and it helps me out. Okay, so now we're going to take our yellow and blue, and I'm going to put the blue one on top of the yellow, and I'm going to sew. I had an extra piece of string that I didn't need. Am I too loud? Do I sound too loud? I noticed my volume was turned up a lot. I want to make sure that I'm not loud. I'm not blasting people's ears, or my sewing machine's not. And we're just going to... Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Stacy. Just want to make sure that I wasn't too loud. All right. Thanks, Up Design. Appreciate it. So we got this one, and now I'm just going to finger press. And once I get all my rows, we'll go and press them. Okay. And 2, once I get done, I have something to show y'all. Yo, I am excited about this stuff that I got. Sure am. All right, sorry, my thread was coming out of my machine on top and wanted to fix that because I don't need no more issues with my sewing machine today. So I've got this one, and I'm going to finger press it for now. So that is row 4 done. Now I'm going to take a printed one and a yellow one and sew it. Anybody making anything today while I'm making this stocking? Or anybody working on anything? Anybody making this with me? finger press it. And then I'm going to open this back up. I'm going to sew it. And then we'll be ready to press it. And two, make sure your fabric's lined up edge to edge, because mine wasn't, and then it would have been off, and then I would have been upset because I'd have had some crooked fabric. Okay, cut my strings, open it up. I'm gonna turn my iron on so it can be getting warm so I can press these seams open. Alrighty, so there we have those. So I'm going to turn the camera so y'all can hopefully see me iron right here. Okay. And after I get ironing, I'll show you what I'm excited, what I got. So I'm just going to take my little squares right here, and I'm just going to iron the seams open. Okay. And where I sewed a 1/4 inch. And then we'll sew it our rows together, and then we'll come back and iron those seams so we can start quilting it. Y'all, I just can't believe it's almost Christmas time. It's hard to believe it's already November. It's like, where has this year been? It's went by too quick. Too quick. Anybody else feel that way? Okay. So I got my seams pressed. So now I'm going to bring this one that I've sewed together. I'm going to get my treat. Okay, so let me just tell y'all. Some of y'all know how much I just love to iron, right? Not. You know me, I can't stand to iron. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. But I do it, okay? Because I know when you're quilting or making anything, you need to iron, okay? Even though I despise it. But it's okay. So, Miss Shawn was talking about this product one day. I think she might have did a short or a little video or something in her group for members or something anyway. And I seen it and I said, oh yeah, that's for me. Let me go order some. So guess what I did? Sure did. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to. I hate ironing. Is there anybody else out there that hates to iron besides me? Because if you do, she tested this and it worked. It sure did. So, I'm going to try it. I got it this week and I was so excited. And my spray that goes on top of this, it broke. So I have to go get one. So that's why I've not used it yet. And y'all know me, I've been out and about. And do you think I've got one? Nope. So the directions, it says hang garment on a hanger, spray at least 8 inches away with a sweeping motion until slightly damped. Easy enough so far, right? Then it says using your hands, pull out wrinkles, then smooth down or shake a few times like shaking out a rug. And then the last one, it says hang dry before wearing. But she used it on little piece. So I said, I'm going to try it. So if you don't like this and you are in Miss Shawn's group, go check out her Amazon store and get you some of this stuff if you don't like ironing. She has a link in her Amazon storefront, and go help her out and order it if you want to. Okay. Now back to the project. Sorry, my little spill, but I'm so excited, y'all. I can't wait to use it. And I may do a little short to let y'all see. Okay, so we got this. So now my next row, I'm going to sew right here. It's going to be the blue, 2 blues on the end. Okay. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to sew it so it looks like this. Okay. So I'm going to flip it up like this, and I'm going to make sure that my seams are lining up. And it shouldn't be that bad since we've already pressed them. They should be nice and smooth. And I've got these little clips that I bought at the Dollar Tree. These work great. So I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to line these. And then I'm going to clip it. Clip it on the end. Okay, and then I'm going to go do the same thing on this one. We'll make sure they line up and they're flattened, and I'm going to clip it. And then we can begin to sew again. This is kind of easy. Okay, so let's start sewing. Just going to a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm back tacking. And once you get close to these little clips, you can just take it, and I always make sure that it's still flattened out, which it should be, and we're just going to sew right on over them. And then we're going to keep sewing, make sure my top's lined up. And we're going to sew our 1/4 inch seam. Now I'm coming up on the next one, so I'm taking my clip and I'm just going to sew on over. And if it don't for some reason, you can lift a little pressure foot like I just did and just sew away. Okay, so we got this one done. Clip my little strings. Go back here and clip these little strings. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the next 2 rows. So far, this is what you got. Looks like a little square block. And you could, if you want to make a quilt, you could do it like this. And then you could make you a quilt. So I'm going to open this seam and I'm going to finger press real quick. I always think this helps. So actually when you do take the iron, it goes faster. But that's just my opinion, okay? Okay, so we got that one. So now we're going to take our next block, which be the yellow, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to lay it and I'm going to line it up with the seams. And then we're going to sew. Okay, I'm going to clip it. Make sure it's lined up. Clip it. Make sure it's lined up. And clip it again. Okay. So now we are ready to sew. When I get to my seam, we'll want to lift it up, make sure it's still separated. And if not, fix it like I just had to a little bit. Because that one side wasn't straight. So now get into my other one. I'm just going to take the clip off and just sew it. Double check it because sometimes they like to not stay straight. Make sure it's lined up at the top. Once you're done with that, clip your strings. Alrighty. Let's see, now we're going to do, I think this might be long enough, y'all. If I remembered right, I hope it wasn't an extra, hope it wasn't 18 instead of 15. I'll check it out. Alright, so clip it. Pretty sure it's 15 though. Line these up. And we're going to sew it. Okay? And then if you need to, after you get done it, you can square it up. So press open. They're good. I'm just going to sew. When I get to this one, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Alrighty, so this is what we got so far for our little stocking. We've got our rows. And I'm going to make sure, because for some reason, I think I told y'all wrong. Yep, I did. There should be 18 to be on the safe side. So I've got 2 extra ones. So let me go cut another 5x5 real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my fault. I told you wrong. Shame on me. Okay, so here's the extra that I had. So I'm just going to cut a 5x5. Probably need to iron it first because it's wrinkled. Okie dokie. Now let me find my ruler. I'm using this. So I know this is already 5 wide. So now all I have to do is cut it 5 in height. Find my scissors. Okay, so I'm just going to line it up here on the edge. And I don't have much room. Put it down here on my 1 mark. So it's even. I'm going right here. And I'm going to cut. Okay. So now we can sew the next one. And I apologize for that. I sure do. Okay, so let's make another one real quick. Another line. It won't take us long to sew this together. Thank you, Miss Shawn. I like the colors too. Finger press real quick. And then let's get this on here. And then iron it. And we'll be ready to go on the next step. I have a bunch of fabric that I need to use, and so I had this one for a year, and I was like, I need to do something with it. So that's what I decided to do, was make a stocking. All right, I'm going to press this real quick, and then we'll sew it on, and we'll get on. Oh, thank you. Well, I don't feel like I make it easy. I don't, but thank you for the encouraging words. I'm new. I'm still learning. I'm a baby beginner. Okay, so now let's take our stocking and let's sew on this last row. So I'm going to do it again. Line up our seams. And come over here and line them up. And sometimes if it's not, you may have to stretch the fabric a little bit to get them to line up. That's one of my problems, is I'm trying to do better to get them to line up. Because it aggravates me when they don't line up. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I just can't stand it. And I'm like, what do I keep doing wrong? Because they ain't going to line up. All right, check it. And this one side turned on me, so I had to go and fix it. I sew slow to make sure. So I know some of y'all are faster than me, but it's okay. We have our own. We each learn at our own pace. No two people sew the same. Thank goodness. Okay, so now got that done. Now let's go over here and press our seams open. Move y'all right here so y'all can see me. So I did the first one. Now we're just going to do the other rows if I can get them to cooperate. Be careful you don't burn your hand. When you open these seams. And the reason why I do this is because whenever I go to quilt my stocking, I'm doing it what they call it stitch in the ditch. And if you have your seams open, it makes it a lot easier for you to quilt it. I learned that from my teacher, Miss Linda and Miss Shawn. Because I have learned so much from everybody and I appreciate it. Because it's like they say, you learn something new every day. Yes, slow is good, Gil. Even though sometimes I'm ready to get it over with, but you are right, slow is good. Just ironing this. And then we will make, I will put we'll put our batting, I'll layer it like a sandwich, and then we'll quilt it, and then we can cut it out and make our cuff. All right, these seams don't want to open for me today. I'm afraid I'm going to burn myself. All right, so once you got this nice and your seams are open, like that, I'm just going to go over the front again and I'm going to press it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my piece of batting. Actually, I told a story. I'm going to take my lining. I just cut it out. I'm going to lay it down. And I just took my pattern and laid it down and just kind of guessed. Hopefully y'all can see that. I got my bottom fabric, my batting, and then I'm going to take my what we just sewed together, and I'm going to lay it down. And then I'm going to pin it. And then we will stitch in the ditch. I'm just going to take my pins and I'm just going to pin it. Pin it a couple times, but make sure you don't want to put your pins where you're going to be stitching at in the ditch. I use pins. Some people use those safety pins. You can use safety pins too. Just pretty much whatever you prefer is what you can use. Moving it on down. I hope my batting's long enough. I think it is. Oh, thank you. You like my Christmas tree? Me too. I thought about doing it cow. Black and white. Sure did. So this is how it should be. Got the back, my batting, and this. Okay. So I know you're probably not going to be able to see this, but then I'm just going to lay my paper pattern on top of it just to make sure it's going to be, and it is. Okay. So now take this over here to my sewing machine, and we're going to stitch in the ditch. Okay. So when I say what I mean by that is all these lines we're going to sew in the middle and also across. Okay. I'm going to start with the longer ones. And when I do this, I'm going to change my foot to my regular foot. I use the 1/4 inch foot to help me guide, but I'm going to put my regular one back on now so I can stitch in the ditch. So you just lay it up here, and all your seams should be flattened, so you shouldn't have a problem about that. So I'm just going to lay it at the top, put my needle down, and I'm going to back stitch, and we're just going to stitch in the ditch since all these are nice and lined up. I'm going to back tack, and then we're just going to sew down the ditch. And it's okay if you're slow, because I'm slow. Yeah, I would like to learn how to do more designs, but y'all know me. I'm waiting on my embroidery machine, saving up for it. Because let me just tell y'all ain't going to know when I get one, because I'm going to practice and practice and practice. And then once I get it down good, I'll tell you. Okay? Sure am. Because I'm the type of person, I don't want to say, oh, look what I got a machine, but don't know how to use it. So I'm going to practice. So when I do share it, I can say, looky here. Miss Kelly knows what she's doing. So don't be mad, okay? Well, I probably don't need to go all the way down, but I am, just to be on the safe side. Hey, Vera. Then we're just going to clip it. So this is what it'll look like in the back, on the back, stitch in the ditch, and you really can't tell it on the front. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other one. We're going to stitch in the ditch. That's what my teachers told me to do. And I listen to my teachers because I'm right beside of them because I'm slow. I'm a slow student. I got to have extra help. So I have to sit right beside the teachers to make sure I'm understanding it. I think this one place it might not be straight, but it's okay. We're going with the flow anyway. That's not why you have to sit at the front of the class. Oh, yes, it is. I'm a good student. Y'all don't believe what everybody says. I'm a good student. Y'all ain't right. Y'all crazy. All right, so right here, my seams are a little off, so I'm just going to keep it a straight line, okay? And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. I'm sure there's a different way you could do it, but I'm doing it like this for now. Okay. So if you will see on this side, see how my lines were off a little bit? And so I just kept it straight and then I got it back. So, yeah. So now we're going to do these lines. I think this is what takes the longest. And once you get past this part, it's all downhill. It goes pretty quick. I roll mine up. Hey, Jesse, welcome in. I don't know why my mic just went muted. I don't know. I promise. Hold on. Sorry, let me get me a swig of my Starbucks drink. You sure? You're sure sewing fast. Miss Chrissy, I'm not really sewing fast. Really not. If I missed you, welcome in. Sorry. We're just stitching in the ditch. I'm going to take these pins out up here at the top so I don't stick myself. I just did those just to hold them. Or you can wait till the end, whatever you prefer. But I'm going to go ahead and take mine out because I got poked earlier and I don't feel like getting poked by them because they hurt. Alright, so now we're just moving right along to our next one. We got 3 more. And then, well, if my thread wouldn't come unthreaded, or my machine. I hate when that happens. Anybody else? Because I'm on a roll and then it just comes out. I'm like, what the world? Alright, so I'm going to roll this up so it don't get in my way or get caught. Take this pin out. I'm just going to keep sewing in the ditch. Make sure you don't get your fingers caught like I've done plenty of times. There's another pin. Get it out of the way. Wax tack. My little snips. Cut my strings. Actually, I am doing a layer inside. My bad. I said I wasn't, but I am. So now, guess what? I gotta cut another layer for my stocking. So you see how, like, when I go to do this one, like all this is, I don't know if y'all can see it, but like all this right here is in my way. So I just roll it up so it's not in my way. And I just got poked. So let's take this little one out. Since I'm doing blue, I think I might do the, I don't know. No, I'll probably stick with blue because I was about to say I'd do it yellow, but I'm doing my cuff in the yellow. And y'all think I might, would that be too much yellow? Or having the back yellow and then doing the cuff yellow? Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all think that's too much yellow or if I should do blue. Let me know in the chat, please. Thanks, Miss Christy. All right, so now we're on our last row. Woohoo! Now let's just roll it down some more. And after we get this one, we'll be ready to move on. This is fun once you know what you're doing. Because I'm not going to lie, I looked at this pattern and I was like, oh my gosh, I'll never get this made. But guess what? I'm doing it. And if I can do it, I know y'all can do it. Alrighty. Let's clip this, clip this. And this is what we got now. Our little stocking. Okay, so now what I'm going to have to do is I am going to go cut another piece of blue fabric for my back. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm unprepared today. I thought I had everything, and guess what? Nope. But it's close by. Right here. See? Still got my iron on, I think. Yes. So we're in good shape. Good shape. Then I got me a little piece. I'm just going to whack this. I'm just going to whack it off up here at the top so I can use this for later, something later. Now, I'm just going to roughly measure it. I'm going to do this in the floor where I have more room. Sorry if you can't see it, but I got more room in the floor. And then I'll come back up here and iron it. If you don't know me, most of the time I cut everything in the floor. Don't know why, but I just do. All right, take my scissors. And I'm just going to cut. All right. So I got more than enough. Let me fold my fabric back up real quick. And then I'm not going to put batting on the other side. I'm just going to do it. So let's iron it real quick. I don't need all this fabric. Also, you can use the starch from the Dollar Tree. Spray it on there. That'll help. Linda, she loves the floor. Yep. So I was at Michael's today trying to find me some needles, and I can't. So if you don't know, I have a bad knee. I've had 4 knee surgeries on it, okay? And I can't squat for long because it starts hurting. So guess what I did? I was going to be there for a minute. Yep, sure did. Set my butt in the floor. But it wasn't for long. Just for a few, maybe a minute or so. So to make sure I could see if they had my needles or not. But I did. Sure did. Hey, you gotta find a way to do it somehow. So if you gotta sit on the floor, just sit on in the floor. Be okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, yep, bet you guessed it. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to cut around my pattern this way because you want it the opposite, okay? I'm going to lay it down in the floor, and I'm going to cut it the opposite. And then once I get done with that, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to cut it this way, okay? I may. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Can y'all see kind of, sort of? Not really. So I got my stocking. So I got my stocking like that, okay? And that's how I'm going to cut around it. But I'm going to trim it and leave like a little seam allowance, because once you sew it, you can always go back and trim it, okay? So I'm just going to turn it here, and I'm just going to start cutting. I know you might not can see this too good, sorry. And I'm going to allow a little extra. And you just follow your pattern. I can't see the chat if y'all were saying anything, sorry. Bear with me. Okay, so I got that part done. Pick this one up in the floor. Done. So now I'm going to take my, hold on, let me just do something real quick. Okay, so now I'm in the floor, right? Everybody sees me. Everybody can see what I'm doing. So now you can do a couple things. You can take your pattern and cut it around it, or you can take this one and lay it face down and cut it. Okay? So what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to take the one that I cut out and lay it down and then trim around it. Okay? So I'm turning it this way. And since I've allowed extra, I'm just going to follow it. And you can line up however you want to, like your stocking. I try to get a little bit of it all, but like you won't get all the squares. So I'm just going to cut. I'm going to go up here and cut this top. Then we'll cut this side. Going around a little foot, little curve. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to start on this way. And now we're going to come over here and finish this little curve right here. And my batten, wasn't kind of long enough for a little bit right here, but it's going to work. We're going to make it work, okay? So, now, after you got all that, you can throw all this away. Get my little trash bag that I have and put that in there. So now, let me see if I can get out of the floor. Move y'all back up here. So now we're just going to sew it. Okay? Hey, Picture Me Crafting, welcome in. So we got our stockings, and now we're just going to sew it. We're going to start up here and sew all the way around till we get all the way back up here, okay? 1/4-inch seams, roughly. That's what I'm using, or that's what I'm going to try to do, okay? Well, maybe if my thread won't keep coming out. All right, now let's get started. I'm on back tack again. Okay, and I'm just going to sew. And I always try to make sure my foot is lined up on the edge of and I hold the fabric, and I'm going to hold it as I go. Just take your time. No rush. You know, it is what it is. Especially going around these little curves. That's where I have a little problem with, but I'm getting better because I'm taking my time. Nice and slow. Turn my little stocking, and I can feel from about here down I don't have no batting, but you know what, it's gonna be okay. Go around in a little circle. Like I said, all this excess we can cut off, okay? No big deal. Then I'm going to turn it, my needle a little bit, and to come up this straight side. And I've got it, I'm holding it up here at the top, okay? I'm on back tack once I get up here to the end. Okay, so got all this done now. Where's my little scissors at? My little snips. Snips. So this is what you should have so far. One side is quilted and the other's not, okay? So now I'm going to snip right here, so whenever I go to turn it, it will be easier to get it to turn, okay? So I'm just going to snip right here. Don't snip into your stitch like that, okay? Then I'm going to turn this. And as I said, I lost something. So once you have it, it should look like this. Now what you want to do is you want to press it down so it's nice and pretty, and make sure all your edges are out. So I'm gonna go and press it real quick, okay? Then I'll be back. Make it nice and pretty. You can iron it on the front too. Okay, so now we've got our stocking made, right? Here it is. So now it's time to make our cuff. So, like I said in the beginning, you take your whatever width it is, mine's 10, and I cut it by 8. So you're going to sew down the both sides, okay? So make sure you got them lined up best you can. Get my needle out of the way. We're just going to make a straight seam. Back stitch. So we got this one done. Now we're going to go over here and do the other side the same way. And I didn't trim my thing down, but my stocking, but you can't really see it. But you can if you would like to. Okay, so now that we got our cuff made, okay? So now go over here to the iron, and you're going to iron your seams open on both sides, okay? So let's go over here to the iron, and let's give these a nice press real quick. And then we're almost done. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. I appreciate it. So we got that one done. Now we're just going to flip it over and do the other side. And if you have a print, make sure you put them face to face. Okay? before you sew them. Okay, so now we're going to take it and we're going to take this bottom and this together, okay? And then, because you want the seams to line up, and then you can clip it, okay? So that's what we're going to do on the other side. We're going to take it, so they match up best you can, and clip it, okay? So now we got it like this. So now we've got to straighten it out. So here's our little cup. This is going to be the top, okay? And this is going to be our bottom. Okay. So now we're going to take our stocking, also our little tab, okay? And we're going to stick and pin our cuff. Okay, so I'm going to unclip it. I'm going to stick this cuff inside here, okay, between my liners. So you want to line the seam up with the seam on your stocking, okay? And once you got that, pin it, okay? Just like that. So we're going to go over here and do the same thing to the other side. Make sure our seams are lined up. And I'm going to go, sorry if y'all can't see it, but I'm going here and I'm going to pin it. Okay? So that's what you should have. Your should look like that. Okay? So now you're going to sew it. Sew it all the way around. And just be careful you don't hit the needles. And also you want to make sure it's lined up at the top. So mine's not lined up too good, so I'm going to take it loose and I'm going to try to line it up just a little bit better, holding my seams so they still match up. Okay, so that looks a little better. So now we're just going to start sewing right here, and we're just going to sew. And I always back stitch. Well, if my thread would cooperate with me. Let's just rethread it. Let's just restart it. I don't know why it's acting up, but it is. I'm going to cut a little bit. Sorry if y'all can't see it, but it's acting up today for some reason. All right, now let's try this again. Take 2. Now just slowly go around. Just keep moving your stocking. And here in just a minute, we'll put in our little hook. So I'm going over my first little seam. just keep sewing it, keep moving my stocking around. All right, so before I get to my last thing, this is when you will insert the tab. So I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm going to stick it once I get closer. I'm going to unpin it. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to unpin it. And I'm going to stick this between my cuff and the stockings. Okay, hopefully I did this right. If not, guess what? We'll be undoing it. Once you get back around, you tack it, unpin it, take out my needle, and then you take this right here and you fold it down. And see, it didn't catch, so I got to go back and fix that. Should have been paying attention. But guess what? I didn't. Let me go back here and fix it. Not sure why I didn't catch it. Handy dandy George seam ripper. So I'm just going to go right here where I see it didn't catch. And I'm just going to cut it open a little bit to, how far? Well, pretty much this whole side. But it's all good. So y'all can kind of see that it's okay to make mistakes. This is where I guess it wasn't even. And I thought it was even. Simple fix, simple fix. Okay, so see how I mean? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here, cut my little strings, get my little threads out. And we're just going to go back in here and sew it again. Okay, no problems. And this time I'm going to make sure it's together, so I don't do that again. Now, so I got that fixed. So let's just go where we left off. Right here, start, back tack it. And now make sure your stuff is going to catch. Don't want that to happen again, do we? So it should be good now. So now we're just going to keep sewing. here and we're going to backpack it. Now, this should hopefully work. So, now that we redid it, pull it open, and then you're going to turn it down. Make it nice and pretty. And there you have is your stocking. And you can make this longer if you want it. But here's our stocking. We made our cuff, and here's our little tab. And so, yeah. So we made a stocking, and I love how it turned out. I love the colors. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. I probably should have done a different color besides yellow, but hey, it is what it is. So, and like I said, any stocking will work that you can get. So you'll just probably have to use either, you may have to have more 5x5s. Thanks, everybody. Well, does anybody have any questions? I need a class. Can I sit in the front by the teacher? Listen, I ain't no teacher. By no means. I just tried it. The first stocking that I did for my son, there was a video, so I watched it. And I've had to go back even to do this one and watch that video for the cuff and stuff. So, yeah. But does anybody have any questions? If not, I will let y'all go because I've kept y'all on here long enough. But I wanted to show y'all how to do this today. I'm so glad everybody came in. I really enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Even though I had to take it apart because one side of my cuff did not catch. But hey, sometimes that happens, right? So, but anyway, if no one has any questions, I hope y'all have a fantastic Monday. And don't forget, if you don't like ironing, go check out Miss Shawn's stuff on her Amazon. I hate ironing. And we will see y'all later. Hope you have a great afternoon. Hope you have a great week. And hopefully I will see y'all in the YouTube streets. And also, I will see you next Monday. Not sure what we're going to make, but hopefully. Oh, what did you ask, Miss Gail? Let me see if I can find your question. I'm sorry. What kind of stuff does Santa put in a stocking that big? I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe some coal. Or like Miss Linda said, candy. You can put whatever you want. Somebody can put some money in it. Oh, I know what. Santa can put me some snacks in here. Snacks. So I have a whole stocking full of snacks. So, but anyway, thanks everyone. See you later. Bye. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Bye.